Hello, YouTube. Back at it again for our first video.
Yeah.
The other day I posted on my Instagram that we completed Whole30.
Yes.
It is life-changing, and so many of you, thousands of you,
Blowing up the DMs.
like my phone would not stop
Oh my gosh.
ringing
A
with
whole
notifications.
3 people.
Haha, 3,000 people. No, but a lot of people were asking questions about it, and I was like, you know what? I am going to make a video. And even Whole30 themselves reached out to me. So thank you for sponsoring this video. Just kidding. They're not sponsoring this video yet. I don't even know how they could sponsor this video besides pay me money. Anyways.
Buy us potatoes, because that's all that's allowed in Whole30.
Ooh, spoiler alert. Okay, so we're going to go through, my name's Crystal. This is my husband, Sean. I invited him on the unofficial podcast today.
Thank you.
Yes. I invited him on the unofficial podcast today to talk about this because it's something that we did together. So we are married.
Newsflash.
Sorry. It's been a long day. I'm crying. Okay, we're married, and every week, give or take, some weeks we miss, but every week we have a marriage time. Okay, scratch that. Every week we get together and we talk about our marriage.
Sometimes we're consistent. Most of the time we're inconsistent.
No, we're consistent.
Yeah, we are.
We talk about our marriage, and we talk about what's going well, what's not going well. Talk about finances, plans, whatever. That's not the
Comment
point.
down below if you'd like to know our D-time routine, if you'd like to know our structure.
They don't know what a D time is. Anyways,
They'll
okay. You gonna learn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Ugh. We are chaotic. But anyways, so over a month ago, we were talking about going from good to great, basically. I threw out this idea of doing Whole30 because I follow one of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. She has been doing Whole30, and every day she'd post her meals, and every time I'd watch it, I'd be like, gosh, that's so great for her, and I want that for me. And so I brought it up in our marriage time, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. No hesitation. And we actually kind of rashly jumped in to Whole30, right? We were like, we're starting tomorrow. And then we went to the grocery store. So we live abroad right now. Our options are very limited. We don't have access access to a lot of the things that we're used to. So if you live in the States, Whole30 actually has their own brand. They have meals, they have Whole30 approved.
Whole30 approved.
Whole30 approved salad dressings and like all kinds of stuff. So we were really like bare bones when it came to our options. But maybe you can share why you wanted to do Whole30.
Well, I wanted to just reset. I was coming in from like a sugar binge, and just eating a bunch of junk food, processed food. Not a ton, but enough to be like, you know what, like I want to change, I want to eat healthier. So when she thought of Whole30, I was all for it because I've been wanting to eat a little bit more natural. And then I think the idea of just having that accountability partner where we can help each other fired me up. So I was like, absolutely, let's do it. I've been wanting to do something like this, especially after hearing that it wasn't necessarily about losing weight, but just eliminating foods that had a negative effect on your body. So
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me was resetting my gut and my skin.
Right. So that's the first thing. Whole30 is not a weight loss diet. It's an elimination diet. And the whole purpose of it is to eat whole foods and see how your body responds as you reintroduce things. So for him, he was having skin problems. He wanted to reset his gut. I wanted to reset my gut. I had a lot of inflammation. Like my face was puffy. My midsection was very puffy.
Little muffin was coming out.
And so we really just wanted to like do a reset in our body. That was the main goal of it. It wasn't to lose weight, although I am going after losing weight and he's going after gaining weight. So that was not the purpose of it. So if you're trying to lose weight, that's not the motivation for Whole30, but it's a byproduct, because I did, spoiler alert, end up losing almost 10 pounds on it. And so I think it was a lot of like water weight and just a lot of inflammation. That's the main thing that I noticed about my body. Basically, what Whole30 is it's a diet where you eat only whole foods, so fruits, vegetables, meats, no grains, no dairy, no sugar, added sugar, no legumes. What else?
Sugar, including like even honey and agave, like even if it's natural sugar, but fruit sugar was okay.
I recommend going to the Whole30 website. I think it's just whole30.com, and they have, all of the rules. I also followed Whole30 on Instagram, and I saw a lot of recipes on there too, and just you can see how you can like swap things out and do alternatives. But I love dairy. I love pasta, rice, grains. Like, I love that stuff. So that was the hardest part about it for me, was cutting out those things. And then I love sweets. I'm a big sweet tooth. He likes more crunchy, salty treats. It was challenging at first. So maybe we can start off like step by step what we did. So step 1, what did we do?
Got rid of all the junk, all the temptation.
We went through our entire kitchen, fridge, cabinets, and just threw out everything that wasn't Whole30.
Besides our Ichiban.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like from Guam. We didn't want to get rid of that.
Yeah, that's gold right there. So we were not about to throw away our Ichiban. If you know, you know. Shout out to all of our Guam people if you're watching. But everything else we completely got rid of, gave it away, and that was step 1. And then we went to the grocery store. We bought meats. We got some beef. We got chicken. We got a ton of veggies and fruits.
A lot of greens.
Yeah. So where we're at, what's
greens.
awesome about where we're at is that there's a lot of really convenient apps that you can just deliver fruits and vegetables, anything really, your groceries within like 5 minutes. So that was very helpful for us because we didn't waste a lot of food. We wasted some greens, I will say, because in the beginning we started eating a lot of salads and stuff.
Got a little overconfident.
Yeah.
Greens just wilted.
Yeah.
Poor greens.
Poor greens. R.I.P. greens. But then we sat down and we kind of brainstormed, like, what can we actually eat? Pro tip, get a lot of snacks. One thing I love about Whole30 is that there's no limit to how much you can eat. So you eat until satiated. Satiated? Is that a word? You eat until you're satisfied.
Until you're fulfilled in your heart.
Yeah, so if you're hungry, you eat. And there's no limits. You don't count calories. You're not allowed to weigh yourself, measure yourself, any of that. Because the whole point of the challenge is it's to get in touch with how you feel, how your body feels, and not so much be motivated by the numbers on the scale or anything like that. We thought about what we were going to eat, like roughly, loosely planned out what we were going to eat. And you can have potatoes, so that was a lifesaver for us. Maybe we can make another video of like what I eat in a day on Whole30 if you guys are interested in that. But there's tons of recipes out there online. So week by week recap. Week 1, how did you feel?
Week 1 was frustrating because we had to figure out how to cook certain meals that we're not used to, and we're not used to eating a lot of potatoes. So I think that was just frustrating, is like you're in the middle of wanting to change your diet but not really knowing what to eat. So like she said, we jumped into it rashly. We just got rid of everything that day, and the next day we started. So we just ordered what we needed to eat that day. But it took some time to kind of figure out like a rhythm.
Yeah. Week 1 was really difficult for me because I realized that we both would just snack a lot and eat a lot of the wrong things. So the things that we were snacking on, maybe like chips or anything that wasn't really fulfilling or whole, it wasn't nutrient dense, and so it was basically like empty calories. Like we would just eat, and then an hour later we're like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, you know? So we weren't eating a lot of the right things, and that was very obvious. Like in the first 3 days, I was like, oh my gosh, when I normally would reach for this, I can't have that.
Yeah,
so
you could feel those urges.
yeah, so we had to like replace a lot of it. So week 1 was really challenging and miserable, honestly. It was miserable because we didn't do the best job planning out everything, like he said.
I wanted cheese like so bad.
He was like fiending for cheese, and by Sunday of the first week, I was like, I think I want to quit. I don't think I want to do this, or just do like Whole30.
Well, that's because the even stronger temptations came in.
Yes. So week 2, how did you feel?
That's when I started craving sugar, wanting to default back to ice cream or candy or junk food, like chips and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I didn't have those, so it was challenging.
Week 2, like around day 10, it's like you hit this peak, and if you get over the hump, then you're solid. You're good to go. And I would say like by day 10, my cravings pretty much stopped, where I was like, all right, I'm doing this. I'm in this. I'm invested. And so week 2, I felt like was like, okay, like we're getting the hang of this. And
there's no turning back.
Something I just kept telling myself is it's not like I won't be able to eat what I want to eat forever.
Yeah.
Like it's just for now and just for this time period. So it's temporary. And that helped me just in my headspace to be like, all right, Crystal, like get a grip, because it's not like you can't ever have ice cream ever again, or you can't ever have cheese. So tell yourself that it's just 30 days. You can do anything for 30 days. And then week 3, how'd you feel?
Week 3 was like, this is the life I want to live. Like, it was like, oh, this is gold. Like, I want to keep doing this. That's when I started really feeling the changes in my body, my energy levels. I wasn't crashing in the middle of the day. And I think because I was so disciplined with Whole30, I think that helped me to be like more disciplined in every area of my life. The commitment really helped me to commit to so many other things. And then of course I was drinking so much water, because I think that's the main sugar that I was really having was like Coke Zero, or even if I had sucralose. So by week 3, I was like, man, like I need to maintain this. It's changing my life drastically.
Yeah, definitely that discipline that you need to do the challenge rolls over into other areas of your life. And I felt that. I totally felt that. I was like, okay, I want to be productive. Something unlocked in my brain.
It's like sugar was holding us back, or the fatty, greasy foods were holding us back.
Something unlocked where I was like, you can do anything you want to do. Like you have self-control, basically. Like you can achieve things. And by week 3, you're like, I'm not giving up now. I have, 1 week left.
Yeah.
The challenge that we faced in week 3 was that we were traveling. And so that is something to be mindful of when you're socializing, when you're out and about, attending, meetings, whatever it is that you have going on in your life. You need to think ahead. You need to plan ahead and bring your own snacks. Otherwise, you're going to be miserable.
And having accountability really helped, because when we were traveling, we were surrounded by some of our favorite restaurants, and I was so tempted. I was like, just once. And Crystal was there to be like, no, we cannot. We have to keep going.
You've come too far to only come this far.
And I think the temptation was because by week 3, you feel like your life has already changed.
Right.
So you feel like it's okay to do it, but it's worth it to go the next week.
Yeah, so we also were very vocal everywhere we went with our friends and family. We just were like, please don't offer us anything because we don't have the self-control. We did by week 3, we did.
Yeah.
But people were very supportive around us. And when we went to a wedding, we went to different, functions.
Parties, yeah.
And people were so supportive, and they would only give us like chicken and veggies or cucumber, and it was so helpful. So helpful. So as much as possible, be loud about your Whole30 journey so that people know like not to offer you things. And we were very grateful for that. That was very helpful. And then week 4, how'd you feel?
Week 4, I didn't even realize we were going into week 4 until Crystal was like, we have 1 week left. And it was really cool to hear that. But I would say the last like 2 days were just like, I was like crawling at the finish line, like so close to just breaking it. That was the only challenge, but I still wanted to keep going because it's like you have 2 days left. Like you're so close. So
yeah, by week 4, I was like, it just felt like another day.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even feel like we were doing the challenge anymore because we're both on the same page about wanting to continue eating this way. Obviously introducing like the things that we love, which we'll get to in a second. But by week 4, it was such a breeze. I agree, on the last day, I was like, oh, it's tomorrow, like I just want to like break it right now. But I'll say by week 4, I was just very proud of us. I was super proud of us. I was like, we did it. Like,
yeah, because I don't think I've ever like committed
completed
to like a 4-week challenge. So like with such drastic changes in my lifestyle. So it was it was encouraging.
Yeah, and I've done 75 hard like 75 times pretty much. Like I don't think I've ever fully completed it. So I was just proud that we completed Whole30. By the end, you just feel very empowered and very strong mentally.
Proud of yourself.
Yeah. So pats on the back. So what were your go-to favorite snacks on Whole30?
Banana, almond butter, and a little of salt. That every day, twice a day sometimes. And then, so good. And then also sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes with a little lime or lemon and like chaat masala or salt and pepper. That was, every day was so good.
My hero throughout Whole30, which I didn't think would be my hero, was apples, sliced apples with a dash of cinnamon on top, and I still eat it to this day. It just like hit the spot every time. And I would put the apples in the fridge so it was like cold and crisp and so delicious, and I want to eat one right now because my mouth is watering. But that was like my go-to dessert. As far as meals go, potatoes, what?
You can go into meals, yeah.
Potatoes. Potatoes. No, we, for the first, another star of the show, which was an underdog, mustard. Okay.
Oh my God.
So when we were visiting home in the States, my mom was like, you have to get this brand mustard from Whole Foods. This brand of mustard. And I think it's called 360, the brand or something like that. But so when we went to Whole Foods, we just got one because we're like, we don't even eat mustard like that.
Nah, dog.
When we checked the ingredients and saw that they were all Whole30 approved, we were like, dude, that was our sauce for everything.
We really underestimated mustard. We're so sorry, mustard.
We apologize. This is us issuing our public apology to mustard. But it was so good. And that mustard specifically has like a kick to it. It was really good.
Yeah,
so good. Great. Okay.
I would season the chicken.
He would season the chicken, and I would do the potatoes. And potatoes take a long time to prep. But we would just air fry them or
Yeah, air fry is the best.
yeah, stovetop do them, and then we'd have chicken, potatoes, and avocado. I love avocado, as is
That was a
pre
staple.
pre Whole30. So we would just like it just provided like creaminess to a lot of the meals, and then salad, cucumber, onion, and
Salads kind of fell off.
they
though.
did fall off by like week 2. But
It's just like
but when I would go out, I would get salads.
If we had dressing, like if we made a bomb Whole30 dressing,
Yeah.
salads would have been like a hit every day. So that's the key: is if you're gonna do salad, you can do salad. Just make a bomb dressing you can put on all the time.
Which you can do. Like
Yeah.
we just didn't put the extra effort in to do
We even got the ingredients.
to do the Whole30 mayo and all of that stuff. Maybe we'll try it.
But we like it changed our relationship with food. So now I do want to make our own dressing because the dressing that you buy just has a bunch of junk in it, preservatives, chemicals. So
I wanted to make my own mayo because I like mayo for like sandwiches and stuff. But yeah, we didn't put in like extra effort to do all of that. But there's tons of recipes online. So when we did eat salad, we would just do like a balsamic vinegar. But I'm like a Caesar dressing girl. So I like creamy, tasty, like not as thin type of dressings.
we also missed out on butter, and you can churn your own butter or whatever you do, the blending, but we just used ghee, and the ghee out here is phenomenal. So that actually added a lot of that savory taste to our beef, chicken, or potatoes.
Yeah. The only thing that we cooked with really was ghee, avocado oil, and olive oil. But mainly avocado oil and ghee. And then we also would, what else would we do? Ground beef. We would do ground beef with potatoes. We did lettuce wraps one time. There's so many.
Yeah, we'll probably
so
go
many
into
things.
that in another video.
Yeah, that's if you guys want that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we were like the best example of creative meals or a variety of meals because we pretty much just like ate the same thing. And then we would snack on fruits, and you can eat nuts, but you can't have peanuts. So pistachios, cashews, we'd snack on those. Almonds, lots and lots of water. I love water. That's my favorite drink. So that wasn't really a struggle for me. But like he mentioned, he would drink a lot of sodas and stuff like that.
And the water intake also changed my life.
Yes.
And so now we are no longer on Whole30, but I just want to drink more water anyways now.
Yeah, we just had a lot of varieties of chicken and beef, and then I think if we were back home, we'd have a lot more options like salmon and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We just kept it very basic, and I was grateful for it. It kept it very simple. By the end, what do you feel like you learned from Whole30, and what were the changes you saw personally?
I think I learned that I just had a very poor relationship with certain foods, and I noticed that I was leaning on those foods as a source of comfort or pleasure and disregarding that it was totally destroying my body. So I think now with Whole30, it absolutely shifted my perspective on ingredients like sugar, fat, greasy stuff, fast food, and now I don't crave those things. I don't want those things. And even if I do, I know this is just like a total cheat. This is a total, a cheat day or cheat whatever. But even after that, it's like I don't want to have that maybe for like another week or two. So yeah, it just elevated my relation. It helped me to have a healthier relationship with certain ingredients and foods.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that. I think what I realized is that ingredients, you have to look at ingredients for things because there's so much that you think is good for you, and you check the ingredients and you're like, You know, it teaches you to be more mindful of what you're actually putting in your body. Yeah. And I'll be honest, like we put straight up poison in our body with a lot of the things that we were snacking on and eating. And yeah, it's tasty, but once you've eaten whole foods, you almost have like an aversion to those things because you're like, oh, you feel like your body's like cleansed out and you're like, I don't want to put a Dorito inside of me. Because it's like, it really feels like you're poisoning your body. And so it taught me to really be mindful of the actual ingredients and the type of oils that people, cook with or prepare like packaged stuff with. Sugar is basically in everything. So it just taught me to really make healthy swaps and read ingredients and just be more attentive to those things. The change I noticed the most in my body was actually my inflammation went down. Like my face wasn't as puffy, my midsection wasn't as puffy, and then obviously I shared already that I lost weight too, and that just felt good. Like I felt like my joints were like oiled, if that makes sense.
With
like
ghee.
with ghee. But I just didn't feel as inflamed, and that was huge for me because I can just like puff up and depuff. So I feel like this was like the reset that my body needed. So yeah. And then you notice your skin.
Yeah, my skin cleared up like immensely. Sometimes I would just have random breakouts, and I knew for sure it was when I had super greasy foods. But after we finished the diet, I introduced cheese like right away, and milk because I was having protein shakes again. So I noticed that once I reintroduced dairy, I started to break out here again. So that was sad. But again, it's like if my body's not reacting well to it, then I just need to be more mindful. It's not that I can never have it, but I just now know that I have to eat it sparingly and be prepared that I may break out. But also I think if I just have a little bit, I won't break out as much. Whereas before I would eat it multiple times a day, every day, and that's what's making me break out the hormones in the milk and whatnot. So now I just changed out my milk, and then if I do eat cheese, it's just very, very rare.
Yeah. The first thing I reintroduced was rice. And, going into the second thing I learned, portion control. Total portion control. It's not that you can't ever have certain foods, but just eating them in moderation. And I realized that I just had no limits when it came to what I was craving and giving into those cravings. And so the first time I ate rice, so after you finish the Whole30 stage, you have like a reintroduction phase. You pick one group of whatever you eliminated to reintroduce. So he chose dairy, I chose rice. I just had like half a cup of rice, and then he had cheese, right? And so it's basically in the reintroduction phase, it's to help you see how your body is actually responding. And if your body responds negatively, then that's probably something you shouldn't eat. I introduced rice, and I just had like a small portion of it, and I felt totally fine. Like I was just grateful to eat it again. But I was like, man, like I don't need to have 2 cups of rice. Like I can just have half a cup and be totally fine. And then I didn't have any negative reactions to it, so I was happy about that. And then I also reintroduced dairy, and I didn't have any negative reactions with that. Portion control was another major thing that I learned. Your body becomes so content without something that when you do have it, you're like, oh yeah, I'm fine with like just a little bit. So I really love that too. Any final words of encouragement for people?
I think I've said enough. I did have one idea, but I think I forgot it.
Okay. My encouragement is go for it. It's only 30 days, 4 weeks, and I think the benefits far outweigh the suffering that you'll go through. Our motivation was really our wanting to take care of our bodies, and in the Bible it talks about how your body really, it's a temple, and you only get one body. And that really hit me thinking about, I was meditating on how the heart that we have is the same heart that we've had since we were in our mother's womb. Like we've only had one heart, unless you've had a heart transplant. But we only get one body. We only have one heart. And so, like, that same heart that first started beating has not stopped beating. You get my point, though. Like, we only get one body.
Oh my gosh.
And we need to take care of it. We need to honor God with our bodies.
That is a good point.
We want to live long, healthy lives, too.
I think I didn't care in my 20s. I was like, I'm young. I can totally be fine. And I was generally healthy. But I think as you get into 30 years old and you start kind of really considering how your body will age 20 years later, you start to be much more intentional and careful. But so my suggestion would be start early. If you're 18, 20, like, get into it as soon as possible.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely. 20s was like, diet was trash. I'd have phases where I would eat great, but
a couple days.
No, not a couple days, but it was very short-lived, and hot Cheetos was like a staple in my diet.
There is a little special place down there for some hot Cheetos.
I don't eat hot Cheetos anymore,
No,
like
they're too
that
expensive out here.
especially. I'll probably have like maybe one or two, but I don't get the pleasure from them that I once got. We know hot Cheetos, you have that like hot Cheeto dust in your chest when you eat them all the time. Yeah. I don't eat that anymore, but in my 20s, yes, absolutely. That was like a staple. That was a food group. This was really just like a yap session about Whole30, and I hope we covered everything.
If there are a bunch of people out there that want to do Whole30, we'd love to set up a group chat. We can hold each other accountable, or you can post what you're eating or get advice or just be open when you're struggling. We'd love to set that up if you think that would help you. Maybe you don't have someone that you can do Whole30 with, and maybe there's at least 2 people on this video that want to do watching this video that want to do Whole30.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun, and it is a lot easier when you have somebody doing it with you. So go for it. I hope you guys enjoyed this yap session and all of our craziness. And let us know if there's more you want to talk about. There's any questions that you have, let us know in the comments down below. Subscribe to this channel for more chaotic videos like this. Love you guys.